Hello, all my little toads and not so little toads. It's Grammy here, and tonight I want to read John Pig's Halloween, which is, of course, one of my great favorites. This was written by Jan L. Waldron, and the pictures are by David McPhail. What do you think of John Pig so far? Does he seem like he's like a confident sort of a pig? He doesn't to me. Let's figure out John Pig. Oops. Oh, this is still just like acknowledgments, etc. It was cool and hazy on Halloween night. The silvery moon shed a ghostly white light. As the fog billowed in and the bats flitted about, trick-or-treat piggies got dressed to step out. I'm not thinking that John Pig looks really impressed. Let's see. 2 of the pigs made a long flowing cape with safety pins thread and some shiny black tape. Another smeared rouge on the beaming brown face of a piggy whose ears were wrapped in red lace. Look at all the pigs. They're all excited to go out trick-or-treating. One of the pigs wore a huge rubber nose, suspenders with knickers, and a blue checkered hose. A tiny chic pig donned a towering chapeau. Do you know what a chapeau is? That's a hat. That's a French word for hat. It looks to me like that's the towering chapeau. Then finished things off with a tangerine bow. Yep, it sure is. In masks and warm jackets and long floppy shoes, the boisterous piggies perfected their boos. But one silent piggy, whose first name was John, just sat in the shadows with no costume on. Let's move it. Let's roll. Where's your bag and disguise? I'm not going, John said. Go without me, you guys. Not going, they howled. Did we hear you right? I'm tired, said John. I'll stay home tonight. So the gussied up piggies all bid John adieu as they rushed to the doorway and crowded on through. But John wasn't tired. He was nervous and scared. He would have dressed up and gone out if he dared. When no treaters called or were even in sight, John feared he was in for a long, lonely night. So he pulled a fat pumpkin from deep in the pile and carved out a face with a wide, jagged smile. Look at that ghost coming up through the floor. I wonder if John Pig even knows he's there. Then he thought he heard grumbling outside the door and saw wavering spirits fly up through the floor. And when a dark shadow swept past his nose, John dove under the table. He shivered and froze. Oh, poor John. He's so scared. Kaboom! Came a bang and a loud piercing yelp. Had someone crashed who had needed his help? He heard a long moan, then the door seemed to creak. Who was outside? Did he dare take a peek? When he did, what he saw was a striped yellow cat and a small crumpled witch in a banged-up black hat. What happened? Gasped John. Are you here for a treat? Of course, said the witch, without skipping a beat. But these steps are too dark. Where's your Halloween light? Just a minute, said John. This will brighten the night. That's better, she said. Now the others can see. Now where are the goodies for Kitty and me? Sorry, guys, I'm getting slower at this all the time. Well, we have long curly ribbons of red licorice and crystal rock candy right here in this dish. Yuck, the witch scowled. You call that a treat? You need savory snacks that real monsters can eat. As she zoomed round the room with her broomstick and cat, she spied leftover pumpkin and said, "Don't waste that. We can make a molasses and spiced pumpkin pie, salt seeds and toast them till crispy and dry. So put on an apron and go wash your hands. Then get out some bowls and a dozen round pans. Have you got any apples, any cinnamon sticks? Find what I need and I'll show you some tricks." This is cool. This is a cooking witch. John and the witch began sifting and stirring. She cracked the eggs as the blender was whirring. She scooped out pumpkin and mashed it all up. She mixed heaps of sugar and cream in a cup. Do you think she might be using some magic here as she's cooking? What gave you the idea? He rolled out the dough for the tarts and the pies while the witch made witch cookies with raisins for eyes. "Now we are cooking," she said with a grin. "Open the oven, we've got food to put in." Soon more trick-or-treaters began to stop by. They'd seen the lit pumpkin and smelled the warm pie. "They're my pals," the witch whispered in John's little ear. "They're loud and they're messy, but nothing to fear." "Trick or treat," howled the callers. "Bring on the fun." John offered them seeds since the pies were not done. When the Halloween goodies were ready to eat, the noisy crowd drooled and tripped over their feet. A man in a cape from his ears to his toes smeared cream on his chin and some more on his nose. A wild, woolly werewolf who howled at the moon slurped pie from a bowl with a big wooden spoon. Look at all of John Pig's guests, Halloween guests. While a witch and a wizard slow waltzed through the air, a slimy green creature slipped right off his chair and oozed in between dirty discoing brutes who had spiders with webs on their crusty white suits. As this ghostly group danced and chowed down his food, a beaming John Pig was caught up in the mood. What does it mean to be beaming? That means you're just smiling and kind of proud of yourself and excited. And anyway, John was beaming. "I wish you could stay and this party could last." "Me too," gushed the witch. "This bash was a blast. But I'm sorry to say that our gang must head back while the moon is still out and the sky is still black." There's always next year. Next Halloween, we'll come back for a visit and check out the scene. John's housemates returned with stuffed bags and cold toes, with popsicle noses and lopsided bows. "Poor John," they all sighed. "He has really missed out. He skipped Halloween and been lonely, no doubt." Was John lonely? They were going out the front door while these guys are coming in the back door. Yikes, said the pigs as they spotted John's pies. They could not believe their tired pink eyes. Welcome home, said John Pig. Would you care for some mousse, persimmon plum pie, or my spiced apple juice? Our house is so cozy, the aroma so pleasing. We're so tuckered out from our trick-or-treat teasing. John offered his housemates fat muffins with cream, orange-striped sundaes, and pumpkin supreme. Look at this kitchen, there's so much to eat. Yum, cooed the pigs as they downed one last treat. John opened the pumpkin and blew out the light. He covered the cakes and he called it a night. He climbed up the stairs and crawled into bed with visions of goblins and ghosts in his head. In the dark he slept soundly, no longer afraid, and dreamed of the many new friends that he'd made. And that's the end of John Pig's Halloween. Did you like that story? I like any stories that have yummy looking food in them, so this one really works for me. Good night.